college, I was freelance installing. And one of the jobs happened to be in a nursing home. So I was going and putting in curtains in all the rooms, and when I got there, the floor supervisor said, listen, all the rooms are ready, we expected you to come in and do it. There's a few rooms where people, are sitting there, and maybe they're lying in bed, it's fine, you just go in, be as quiet as you can, and it's okay, go in the room. So I went in, actually did a few rooms, I was moving along, everything was great, and then I went into one room, and there was a woman there, and she was sitting in a wheelchair, and I quietly went up to the window, and I smiled back, everything was fine, and I'm up on the ladder, and as I'm installing, I could have been up there more than maybe 2 minutes, I feel something banging on the back of my leg, and I look down, and it's the woman in the wheelchair, must have wheeled up to me, and started screaming, get out of my room, get out of my room! I'm like, oh my God!
It's a really nice feeling, and when we saw those nuns, 25 nuns move in, and it changed their lives. They were much happier, they actually have a social life again. It's good.
It's interesting when you're talking about that story. Sorry, I'm backing up a little bit. When you moved them in, did you actually have to put a place of worship for them on the same floor? Yeah, because I was thinking about that myself.
I designed a chapel.
Right, interesting, exactly.
I did.
I was thinking it had to be there.
Yeah,
right.
They could actually, the priest comes in every morning and says Mass in that chapel, and you had to put a place for the Eucharist. I forget what it's called.
Did you get hurt when you walked in? Did anything hit you like a lightning bolt? I was thinking that.
I was a little nervous.
Right. I'm going to stop for a second. Do you still paint today? Because a lot of people, they have their craft, and my craft was building, and I don't, and it's interesting because I don't build like I used to. I used to use my hands all the time when I was younger, and then as I've gotten older in the business and things change, I don't build things like I used to. I always think I'm going to, build a model airplane now so I can use my hands again. So, do you still find yourself painting?
Well, it's a funny thing. For a while, I used to do realistic figure painting and hire models, and I do still lifes and things. I haven't done that in a long time. I've done like drawings of my daughter or something like that. But I have found myself painting on occasion for a client when I can't find what I'm looking for.
Oh, that's great. Right.
For example, I had an unusual situation where I had a client who had a laundry room, which was in a closet, and there was a staircase with no table for folding. So I had a picture put on a hinge that would come down and land on the other end on the staircase railing, creating a table. So this picture, we couldn't find the right size artwork that just happened to fit in the frame, that happened to fit in the table, and so on. So I made that.
Oh, wow.
And I do things like that.
I'm sure it
Yes.
must have been fun.
It's happened to me. I'm a professor at FIT.
For a long time.
For a long time
Right,
now.
right.
I'm a tenured adjunct, and I've been doing
Congratulations.
that, thank you, since '98. And so the teaching really just, it feeds my soul. And from the teaching, what's happened is I wrote a book, the Interior Design Productivity Toolbox. And I did this because in my business and in my classroom, there were always little things that people forgot to do. And in our business, it's all about the details.
Right, absolutely.
And you could miss a detail so easily. So I created a book of checklists that takes you from concept to completion, from the time you get a call from a prospect all the way through your punch list. And that way, you have something that can just be there for you as a guidebook. And the checklists actually live in a cloud, so you can keep downloading them and reusing them, which I think is so great because you don't have to worry about ruining a book or checking off in a book, and you can share it with your staff. It's also a great way for you to do things with a new hire and not have to helicopter manage. Mm-hmm. You could take them on a survey, give them the book, and the next survey they can go out and feel empowered and do it themselves. Right. And there's drawing checklists.
Because of the knowledge and everything. Sure.
Everything.
Right.
So that to me was a big gift to get out of my brain.
How long did you work on
it
it for?
It was about 2 years.
Not bad. That's not bad.
No.
Right.
I mean,
you say, well, I've been working on it for 15
time.
years, and it took my life and everything else.
Well, I mean, if I think
2 years
about
is a long
it,
time,
I've
but
been developing it for my whole career, but putting it into this format took about 2